chef, author, and teacher, and the author of several cookbooks. And this is my co-host.
I'm Amy Welly, and I've been cooking plant-based food in my kitchen for my family for the past 7 years with the help of Robin and her cookbooks.
And today we are
all about the flavor.
Well, the thing, honestly, plants are very simple and meats are complicated. So in this series of shows, I am going to roll out all the tips and techniques that I have that are going to help you to make flavor bombs.
What are we going to do today?
So today I'm covering a technique that's as simple as boiling water, and that is called reduction.
Have I done this before? I feel like maybe.
I think you have, and so it's really something we don't think about a lot of the time, and it's something that's underutilized. So that's why I'm very excited to talk about it today. So I'm going to make an incredible reduction where I'm going to use onions, celery, parsnips, garlic, red wine, dried mushroom, and vegetable stock, and then we're going to make this incredibly flavorful flavor bomb.
Okay, so anytime I've added wine to a meal, is that what I'm doing? Am I making a reduction if I'm adding wine to a meal?
If you cook it down. Whenever you make a reduction, what you're doing is you are removing flavorless water. Flavorless water is fleeing the scene, leaving behind nothing but flavor compounds. You're also, in the case of wine, alcohol is a solvent, and the solvent is going to break out flavor compounds you can't get otherwise. That's why we cook with wine, honestly. I mean, the wine itself tastes good, but the alcohol itself helps to bring out flavors from everything else.
The vegetables are reacting to what's in the wine.
They are.
The solvents.
There is a solvent that's going to break stuff out of there that you can't get any other way.
Okay.
So to start this one, I'm just chopping some onion, and you don't have to chop it super small because it's just going to get boiled and thrown away.
Yellow onion.
Just a yellow onion. I like yellow onion, and honestly, I noticed that sometimes people think they should get a Vidalia onion. Vidalia onions are for raw. You should only eat those raw.
Oh, they're the
Those
super sweet ones,
onions.
right?
Yes, the yellow onion is the best for cooking, in my opinion. So now I've got a parsnip that I'm chopping up, just cutting that up so that the juices can get loose into this flavorful broth. And if you aren't familiar with parsnips, they're kind of like a carrot, but they're white. And I just
love them. Very strong flavor.
They are but they're sweet and a little earthy, and just a wonderful, wonderful thing. Okay, so I'm going to heat up a pot, and I'm putting in a little olive oil. And then I'm just going to move these vegetables, and that's pretty much most of the work. Ignore those now, and I'm going to show you another, probably the most popular and basic reduction, which is just a balsamic vinegar reduction. You don't want to spend on very expensive vinegars because the really expensive balsamic vinegar has been aged. And the aging process actually already reduced it. So when you buy a really expensive, nice bottle of balsamic vinegar, it's going to be thick already. So this will only take about 10 minutes.
That's it. That's
of
all you
boiling, and that's all we're going to do. Actually, when you're doing a reduction, you want to be very careful with salt, because if you put in salt now and then reduce it, it's going to get really salty. So you want to always wait and put your salt in at the end. So, and the great thing about this is that by cooking with this wine,
That's
and
what
you
I
like cooking with wine, this now will make this plant-based dish completely compatible with this red wine. So oftentimes you'll hear that red with meat, white with fish, what goes with vegetables? Well, if you cook your vegetables with the red wine, they work perfectly with the red wine no matter what you do. So it adds, and it gives it a lot of heft and a lot of weight that it wouldn't have otherwise. This is also a good time to have a little sip of wine. You've used cooking wine before.
Yes, but only for drinking while I'm cooking. I thought that's what it was for. Salud.
So these have sauteed, and I'm going to add wine, vegetable stock, dried shiitake mushrooms, 1/2 ounce.
I never know what to do with those at the store.
Shiitake mushrooms are the secret ingredient. If you think about it, these are dried mushrooms. And if you take a fresh shiitake mushroom, right? What's in there that's not in the dried mushroom?
Water.
Water.
Yes, water. Okay.
So the dried mushroom is basically a reduction of a mushroom. So by putting those into the broth, we're going to get all the meatiness and the umami and the satisfying flavor of the mushrooms just dropped right into that broth.
You could put raw mushrooms in there, but that's just going to be more you have to cook off.
That's right, and so this is just more concentrated. And we're about the flavor bomb. So you want the super concentrated flavor. Now the balsamic glaze, you just boil it until you'll be able to tell a lot of your reductions. You can tell they're done because they get a glossy color. They get a glossy texture. You know, they will get thicker,
Like
but
syrup.
they will look sort of syrupy. They'll get shiny and there will be big bubbles. And that's how you can tell things are really getting reduced. This is going to go on a white bean and roasted garlic puree, and the balsamic glaze is going to go on some roasted vegetables that I just did, simple roasted vegetables. So now that we've got all of our flavorful liquids in the pot, we're going to simmer this for an hour on low.
Why on low? We can't just do this.
I know, it seems like it would go faster if we boiled it hard, but it's important to do it on low, gently for an hour, because otherwise the high heat will pull bitterness out of the vegetables, and
Okay.
you don't want that. So you want to give it time for the vegetables to just sort of gently give up their flavor.
Okay. Okay.
We don't want to do anything violent with the
Okay.
vegetables.
I'm a busy mom.
After those cook for an hour, we strain it. So we've got one that we've already strained, and I'm just going to take a little bit of that liquid and whisk it with a little bit of arrowroot.
The flavors out of the vegetables. I mean, the pulp. We don't want that.
Absolutely not. No,
just too
it's
overcooked.
done.
It's-
It's overcooked and we're done with it. The mushrooms have given us everything they're going to give us. So I've got this
Ooh.
slurry that I'm making here. And I'm going to get this heating up again. So now I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of arrowroot slurry.
Arrowroot, like cornstarch.
It's sort of like, it's like cornstarch, and I tend to prefer arrowroot. It's neutral and you can get it. It's, you know, it's a lot less people are allergic to arrowroot than are allergic to cornstarch. So
Smells amazing.
it smells like wine and mushrooms and fabulous flavor, you know, garlic and everything good. So we just kind of bring that to a boil and let the arrowroot thicken it, and then that's going to be a beautiful reduction sauce.
That's flavor.
That's flavor. It's just got so much flavor in it. So that's the thing about making your all about the flavor food, is that you just want to pick things that have intense flavors and then handle them in ways that bring the flavors forward. To serve this, I have a lovely puree of white beans and roasted garlic, which I'm just going to put on a plate and sort of create a little cradle for this reduction of the red wine. See how I'm just creating a little home for our beautiful red wine reduction?
We used to do this for our gravy, right?
Yes, so this is going to be the most lovely red wine reduction, and I might just put it on a plate.
Beautiful.
I know, we're going to have to taste it, aren't we?
Yes, please. Don't mind if I do. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love it.
It's a flavor bomb! Oh my gosh. Sometimes I surprise myself. This is what you serve to people who think plant-based food doesn't taste like anything.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Isn't it just?
It's so elegant. And what else could I put on the plate?
So we're going to serve this with some roasted vegetables and the balsamic glaze over the top of those.
Could you use this reduction for, I mean, you know, puree, we use it for a plant-based meat. We use it for,
Absolutely,
like,
this
steaks.
reduction goes with so many things. You know, you could put this on any sort, I like to put it on sort of neutral things, like say over a risotto or something something sort of soft, you know? And then you could use it also just a tablespoon or two into a soup or something. We'll just amp it right up, or a spaghetti sauce, you know, because this is just, you know, we're eating it kind of straightforwardly, but you could use this as an incredible seasoning as well. You know, it's super concentrated. We're all about the flavor. Thanks so much for enjoying this meal
Thank
with
you
me.
for cooking for me.
Cheers.